Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to a pretty special stream. Not special, but it's it's something that I did yesterday. Just for a little bit of context about what Hyper Strikerz are. So I made this yesterday. This is one of the strikers from this new series. Now, Hyper Strikerz were made a couple of years ago by me as a sort of not really competitor to Beyblade, more like just it's hard to explain, but basically it's like it's a love letter essentially. And so throughout the years I've been making various series and incorporating different components and building techniques. And this right here is Exceed Orion, which is the attack type starter striker that like released in the start of the series. This series in question is called Hyper Strikerz Impact Fury. And so now hold on. The reason why I had to exit out and then open back up the program is because of the fact that for whatever reason, if you open up a new thing, it'll open it up on top of this for some reason. So the first striker we're gonna make is a no, not a, that's improper grammar, an endurance type striker known as Aero Pegasus. So Aero Pegasus is, as you would, as you would expect, an endurance type striker. Now, how Hyper Strikerz works is incredibly similar to Beyblade. I need to turn on the webcam. Yeah. So it's incredibly similar to Beyblade in that you have your 4 different types. You have the different building components of like how you customize it. I should say, however, that these are not real. These do not exist in the real world. They do, however, exist within my alternate universe, Radical Earth. That being said, they are not a real-life item unless you want to build them with actual Legos. So, just a disclaimer, this is not a real product. So, just pointing it out there. Also, I apologize for the brightness. Can't really do anything about it. It's just heaven has descended onto me, apparently. Yeah, so I just wanted to show y'all. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, how about we get into the first striker? So, how I have built these is pretty interesting. So, I'm going to start off with the brackets right here. And the reason being is because of the fact that the building technique that I've done for this specific series is, well, I think you'll really, really like it. So, oops. Yeah. And you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. That striker that you showed us earlier is, thick. Well, yeah, that's right. So, this is how I got that thick wheel look on the striker I showed off earlier, Exceed Orion. And yeah. Now, actually, you know what? Hold on. Never mind, it doesn't do that. Okay. Right. Yeah, so this is how the strikers are. So we have the chip right here. The I think I called it impact blade. Yeah. So the impact blade is, and I should say this because this is technically a product from an alternate universe. It's not actually made of Legos in that alternate universe. They're extremely close to a real life Beyblade. But the impact blade gets its name because of the fact that the name Impact Fury is in reference to how the impact blades themselves are made out of a incredibly durable and very not, it's not heavy in the sense where it's like heavy as a brick, but the blades themselves, like the actual part that makes contact, is made out of a high density kind of plastic that's incredibly durable. And the reason why it was made that way is because of the fact that the creators of these battling tops want them to be impactful with every single hit. So it's like, it'll hit an opponent and it's like... Apparently my phone heard that. Ow! Anyway, yeah, so... In other words, we have the chip, the ring, the blade, the disc, and the spin base. And I'm gonna pull up my Facebook post about these tops because I think it's supposed to be a 4-piece system. Yep, 4-piece. Alright. So, this entire segment right here, the S-shaped chip, that is the Avi chip, which is short for Avatar chip. The Avi chip, as the name would imply, represents the striker's avatar, with this being Orion. This is the impact blade, which is a thick, durable, and fairly dense plastic ring that provides the most contact with an opposing striker. We have the weight ring right here, which the weight ring itself isn't particularly thick, but that's partially because of the fact that if the strikers were made too heavy, then they wouldn't be able to spin very long and they just wouldn't be very balanced. So the weight ring is actually just there for more stability. And then we have the spin base, which, as the name would imply, is just the base of the striker, and therefore the part that gives it the ability to perform different movements in the arena. And as you can see, you have different shapes of the parts and stuff to give it that extra bit of detail about what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to emulate, all that stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, now let's get back to the thing. And, yeah, I know, I had to start all over. Whatever. It's okay. Okay. So. By the way, so on the subject of streaming, I am pleased to announce that Saturday will be the next episode of Sonic Frontiers. I also checked back on the stream just to listen through it. I didn't realize that the desktop audio was actually more louder than my voice, so if my voice sounds louder or quieter in the stream, I apologize. But just know that it's something that I'll figure out in due time. It'll take a while, but I'll get it. Yeah, so that'll be something. Anyway. Might as well go ahead and choose my first color. Right. Wait, one. Right. Right. Alright. So here's how the Avi chips work in terms of their configurations. So right spin strikers like Exceed Orion or the other three starter strikers, they'll have these angled bricks pointed like this. And the reason being is to, it's sort of like how a Beyblade's launcher prongs would fit in. Anyway, so. Yeah. Anyway, then we have this. It is a bucket. But not really. I can't do the spy's accent, sorry. I'm gonna check on something real quick. I'm back. Just had to see who messaged me. So, Aero Pegasus is actually an endurance type, which is essentially the Hyper Strikerz equivalent of stamina. And so, because of that, it has to have a unique design that would, you know. My phone is just like, hello. Right. So, anyway, so for a left spin striker, it would be the reverse for this, where these would be facing this way and these would be right here. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting. There will be dual spin strikers, but how it works for those is that they'll have two separate chips that are included. There's the R chip and then there's the L chip. And you know, the lettering in that name would be representative of the spin direction. So for this, it would be, you know, right spin. Um, right. Anyway, so for that, I'm gonna color it. Yeah. Alright, I still have to get the chip out. Okay. Now then, who's ready to see the main bread and butter of this entire series? So I know I sure am. So, here's how these strikers are built. We have two different parts of the striker. There's... When did I say that? Alright. Anyway, so... For these strikers, I wanted to give them a unique design for the actual, like, rings. Or not rings, the, blades. And so, what I ended up doing was, I ended up deciding, you know what? These strikers are gonna be uniquely designed with their own aspects to them. So I might as well go ahead and try to give their blades a unique design. So there's like two separate layers when it comes to the actual design. Wait. Um... Hmm. Hmm. Wait a minute. Yeah, why didn't I think of that before? Okay, so this is going to be a unique little design, but I think you might like it. It's going to be a little odd. Don't worry, I know. It's going to be a little jank, as they might say, but I think I got it. So, here's the idea. So, we had this 3x1, or 1x3, whatever you want to call it. And we have these. What I was thinking is this. Okay, well, not that. is this piece. Yeah, there we go. Now you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, why? Why that design? Well, here's the thing. It's an interesting design, but it's a cool looking design. Because it looks like a wing if you look at it. You know? And yeah, right. Now we're going to go ahead and copy that over to this side. Because now that I have a rough idea of how I want the design to go, I can translate that over here and yeah. Right. So we have that, and now we're going to have yeah, we're going to have no, not. No, what we're going to have is creativity. And lots of it. There we go. Yeah. then what we're going to do is oh wait, no. That needs to be a solid color. But not that. Yeah, there it is, lime. Okay, now let us proceed with the building. I apologize for that. The building is not a word. It is a fake word. But I made it up, so here we go. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so this is Aero Pegasus. Alright. Now let's get back to what I was doing. I was trying to like correct the colors a little bit. So, yeah. Yeah, there we go. So that is the Avi chip, the ring blade, sorry, which has a fairly well-rounded appearance, which is always a good thing, because that's what endurance types are known for, is having a well-rounded appearance. But then we have the ring, the actual weight ring. So, Aero Pegasus's blade is pretty interesting. And you're probably thinking, you seem to like using that word a lot. Well, that's because interesting is an interesting word. But in all seriousness, so the ring's name is known as Wind. And the reason being is because of the fact that alongside the striker having already very admirable spin performance in terms of like endurance, it also has a unique ring that is designed to where it can actually wrap air around it, giving the name Wind because it creates a cyclone effect where it wraps air around itself to prolong its spin. And so, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but think of it sort of like, think of how a tornado sucks stuff in. This is basically the tornado. And I'm saying that partially as a Texan. Anyway, yeah. Wait, no, I got that wrong. I was actually supposed to have one of these here. And the reason being is because of the fact that, this blade's, ring, all sorts of mixed up here. What am I doing? So, here's how the ring works. So we have two sides that are completely curved, which are here and here. But then we have these other sides which have, well, I think it's better to just show you. So, I made yet another developer oversight. Here we go. So, here's how it works. I realized that I did not, in fact, make a developer oversight. I'm just stupid. So how it works is, you see how this is designed this way where it's like, so basically this lifted edge right here is what catches the air in the, well, air. And what it does is it allows it to generate airflow to the point where it can produce its own sort of airfield, or not airfield, but like it's kind of hard to explain, but think of it sort of like how there's certain Beyblades that have a yeah, this is hard to explain. But to explain better what I mean, I'm gonna bring up a Metal Saga Beyblade. Alright, so here it is. Flame Libra T125ES. So, this Beyblade in particular has the T145 or 125, otherwise known as Tornado. It has 4 upward facing wing protrusions spaced apart widely. But essentially what this is it pushes air downwards. But how this works is that it has these winglets that generate an airflow. So in the case of Aero Pegasus, it still generates airflow, but it's in a way where it catches the air around it in order to prolong its spin duration. Now, if this were to be a real product, it wouldn't be squared off like this. It would actually be a little bit more rounded. And it's so that way it could actually produce an outward barrier as well. Yeah. Anyway, so then we have the painting. Yeah. Trust me, this stream is going to be a little bit longer than I anticipated. I'm not sorry for that. I have to do what I have to do. I know I have the strength to do it. I'm not Ben Solo. I am going solo. Yeah, I'm sorry. Alright, anyway. Wait. No! I just realized there's no reason for me to put these here. Because... Okay, so I completely forgot something. So, this part, it wasn't necessary to have an extra layer of this. For this, however, the reason why I needed to actually have the extra thing gone is because the bases are... Well, they're really easy to build, actually. So we have that. We have that. And we have my eye telling me that, hey, you have something in your eye. Thank you, eyeball. I never would have guessed. Okay. Anyway. So... there we go. So, you're probably wondering, so what are you gonna do? Well, if you must know, it's a sharp idea. So, this spin base is known as sharp. As the name would imply, it is, well, sharp. how this works is, well, that. So we have this entire construction right here. Then, to round off this first build of the other three, oops, there we go. There it is. That, ladies and gents, is it's tall, but it gets the job done. That's what I would be saying if it wasn't for the fact that there we go. Yeah. So Sharp itself has these 4 sections for stability, but it could also be a downfall if the striker gets too imbalanced and starts to fall over, which, mind you, is not a terrible thing because, you know, it's all in fun. So yeah, that is Aero Pegasus. Originally the name was going to be called Aerial Pegasus, but then I was like, no. But yeah, that is the endurance type. I'm gonna wash my eye out real quick because I have something in my eye. And then we'll get on to the guard type. Now, guard type is essentially the defense type kind of strikers, so yeah. But I'll be back in a moment. Ah! Until I walk into a thing. I'll look away for 1 second and almost walk into a box of soda. Yeah, good job, man. And I'm back. Right. So yeah, these are meant to be fairly tall and bulky, but that's the whole point. Anyway, now for the guard type striker known as cue me going back to my post because I'm a fucking idiot. Language. Okay. Right. Mayhem Taurus. Heavy Sphere. So, heavy is, well, heavy, but that is actually the ring name. But Mayhem Taurus, you are going to love how this looks. Because Taurus itself, as the name would imply, is... the name is derived from a bull. To be more specific, I believe it is derived from the constellation. Wait, no, horoscope. Yeah, so Taurus itself is going to be green, and these 4 strikers are going to have color-coded variations that are inspired by Beyblade Burst, because in Beyblade Burst you had blue for attack, yellow/orange for stamina, green for defense, and red for balance. Those are the color codings. Although the the Beyblades in question don't have to be that same color, but it is pretty cool. Anyway, but the name Taurus is actually in reference to just a bull in general because that's, Taurus. But the actual avatar itself is actually inspired by Minotaur. That Minotaur. So, we're going to start off with neon green. Now you're probably thinking, neon green, why? Well, why not? So, yeah, again, another right spin striker. Got these. You got that. And yeah. So nope. Going to wait a minute, I just realized something. Whenever I was building Pegasus, I forgot something. I forgot to put this white tile, no, not white, but it's like a 2x2 tile, like underneath this, because I did that for Orion, but I think it's because of the fact that I usually try to hurry through a stream whenever I don't want it to last super, super long, but as is the nature with everything that I do, sometimes I just can't help it. So, sorry about that. Anyway, oh, right, that. Plate modified, there it is. Okay, before I forget, let me go ahead and put this down on here. Because I am a bit of an idiot, alright? I'm very much an idiot. I'm not trying to downplay myself at all. I really am kind of an idiot. But, yeah. So that is the chip, and I already had the neon green colors. With the main striker itself being a bright green in reference to its guard type, typing. And yeah. Anyway, yeah, so for Taurus itself, I'm gonna give it gold because of the fact that the character that owns this, whenever it comes to the actual characters from Hyper Strikerz Impact Fury, the character himself is called King, and it's actually kind of cool how you might think, oh, well, King is obviously going to be a bully character, right? Like, he's going to be a massive jerk to everyone. Actually, no, not really. He's prideful, but he's not a jerk. He is someone who takes his battle seriously, but he's a very kind person. Right, there we go. There's the thing. Anyway, so now what we're gonna do is have a voice crack, naturally. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the brackets. Blub, bloop, bloop, bloop. And should have enough adequate room. And damn it, I don't. Thought I did, I don't. I was off by a pixel, everybody. A pixel. A friggin' pixel. Alright? That is me. That is my very existence in a nutshell. I try to get something picture perfect, and then just... Sorry, you can't do that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we have the general shape of the... I call this part the frame, because it's like the general building blocks of how you actually build the blade itself. And we have these parts, yada yada yada. Alright, now we're gonna paint this bright green before I forget, because I tend to be pretty forgetful sometimes without meaning to. Now, one thing I'm hoping I don't forget is the fact that I have to go see John Wick tomorrow, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to see John Wick? Especially to honor the late Lance Reddick, who passed away recently. May his soul rest in peace, and his memories carry on of his outstanding work across all the fields he's worked in, from video games to movies to animation and so on and so forth. He was a great guy. As someone who hasn't really watched all of the John Wick movies, but I've only seen the first one, no, the third one, sorry, not the first one. I've seen clips of the other movies, though. They look really, really good. But I can definitely tell you that he had quite the range when it came to his work. So I'm not doubting that for a second. He was an outstanding person when it came to his stuff. He was fantastic. He was very nice from what I've heard. Which, I mean, yeah. It's obviously a nice thing. And I can bet you top dollar that if he were still around, he would love to see John Wick 4 succeed, which I know it will. I mean, the thing is, I've been keeping close tabs on movie box offices every once in a while. And I know that's kind of weird, seeing as how I don't work at a movie theater anymore. Especially after what happened, am I right? But I can confidently tell you that I have high hopes for that movie. And I mean, for crying out loud, IGN themselves gave that movie a 10 out of 10. Let me repeat that. A 10 out of 10. That is outstanding. Right, Okay. Now to actually put down the big pieces. Oops. Oh, actually, on the subject of Lego, did anyone see that new announcement for that Lego game coming out in May? That game looks awesome. I'm really, really excited for it. But, I should also say that starting in May, I'm going to be saving up for the Quest 3 that's slated to come out later this year. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. Right. So, who's ready for the awesome design that I have cooked up? Because, I know I am. So, here it is. Got horns, dude. Got horns. Yeah, that's right. These are gonna be the horns. I mean, it's called Taurus. You know? And bulls are known for mayhem, so why not? Anyway, yeah. Wow. Pardon the voice crack. Okay. So, here's how it's gonna work. I'm going to... Wait, no. I'm gonna get one of these, and... bloop. Bloop. But then, what I'm gonna do is... Wait, I already have that open. Yeah. So... go through all this. Then so I was originally planning on having one of those right here, like here, because it would look like a bull's nose ring for like a minotaur. And I was like, you know what, no. Yeah, we're not doing that. Um, no, not that. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. I have a perfect idea. I could still do that thing I was planning on doing. Because if you think about it... Oh, damn it. Wrong one. Yeah, there it is. Yes. There it is. Alright. Now you're probably thinking, well, wait, what are you going to do with that? Well, if you must know, should have put a ring on it. Yes, that's right. We will actually be able to put the ring on it. Not in marriage, but for the sake of bulls. Okay. It's actually going to be not that, but something else. Yeah, this. Alright, so, now that we've gotten that, which we haven't recolored yet, but we will, let's do the other side and then we're going to do these, which will look kind of similar to Aero Pegasus in a way, but yeah. Anyway, you'll see what I mean shortly, but first I need to, actually finish stuff. So first I'm going to oh my god. So this is gonna be a weird thing to bring up, but does anyone ever have like a song that just repeatedly plays in their head after they've heard it enough times? And no, that's not as shoddy as like a melody joke. Although that song is also pretty damn good. I'm talking about a 1984 Kmart commercial theme. And the reason why I bring that up is because of the fact that, kind of a fun fact, I happen to work at a VR chat Kmart. You might have heard of it. You might have even met the owner of the place, heard some rumors that are not true at all. The less said about that, the better, because it's fairly sensitive stuff that I would rather not speak about because YouTube would be all over me like flies on honey. But yeah, so basically VR chat Kmart, if you've never heard of it, first of all, what on earth is wrong with you? If you have an Oculus Quest, or if you have a PC with VR capabilities, or even if you just have a PC that can play the game in desktop mode, check it out, it's amazing. Anyway, yeah, so VR chat Kmart is quite literally a reconstruction of, well, there's actually three different things. So there's the main store, which I believe is based on the same one that Eric, otherwise known as Ericerno, worked at. Happens to be a good friend of mine. Pretty cool guy. Might have met him. But there's also the Super K, which is based upon the Super Kmarts from the early 2000s. So if you ever go to that world, you might notice in the electronics section, which is actually where I work at, you might notice the boxes of PS2s, OG Xboxes, GameCubes, the Game Boy games. You might notice all of those, and so you'll see, hey, this store looks like it's inspired by the early 2000s. However, as an in-joke, we also have Oculus Quest 2s and various other VR-related things, which is kind of anachronistic because of the fact that, those didn't really exist back then, but it's best not to question it. In fact, we were specifically told, don't question it. And as such, I will not. Because that would be foolish of me. How dare I question that? Right, anyway. There we go. Wait. Actually, yeah, this will work. Okay, so. Okay, there we go. Now for heavy. Oh boy, I am excited to do this one. I actually mean that. So, here's how this one's going to be constructed. Hmm? Right. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and not be an idiot and actually go ahead and put that square part on the, yeah, this one. So that way I do not forget. Anyway, so heavy, as the name would imply, it's actually fairly simplistic in its design, but the name boils down to the fact that it is, well, heavy. But then again, so is the rest of the striker itself because of the fact that, you know, it's made out of a high density plastic material. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah. But then we have trying to find it. Not it. No. Trying to find this gold bar thing. Watch it show up here and be under a different name than what I was thinking. I literally searched up that name and it didn't. Okay, see, that's the thing. I literally searched that up and you guys saw that. And it's just like, oh, sorry, but we didn't see anything. What do you mean? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. But it's not going to be entirely silver though. It's not. Because the only part that is not going to be silver is actually that same bar thing that I spent like 5 minutes looking for. It is actually going to be metallic black right here. I'm going to give it a little bit of differentiation. Okay, so now let us get to the, yeah. The actual, well, yeah. Anyway, so then we have the base, which is called sphere. As the name would imply, it has a ball-shaped tip. It is not meant to be a sex joke. It's just the way it is. But how it works is pretty self-explanatory. You got all this stuff. trying to find... No, not that. Nope. Nope. No, no. I think it's in this. It is probably not. Or is it? Maybe. I know it's here. Hmm. No, that's not it. I know I saw it, like, once. It's not this, but it is similar. It's like a... it's hard to explain. Hmm. It's not that. No, it's not that. Nope. Damn it. It's hard to find it, you know? It's like... like, I know I've seen it. I'm not crazy. At least I hope I'm not. Okay, it's gotta be a utensil, right? Because I know I've seen it. I'm not going crazy. I know I've seen it. I'm being truthful. I am. But apparently it ain't showing up. Or maybe I just passed it by and didn't realize. But I'm glancing through all this stuff and I don't see it. It can't be. No. No, not that. No. Just watch. Just watch. It's gonna show up. I know it. I know it will. Never mind. Seriously, how is it not showing up? I know exactly what it is. Oh, you've got to be joking me. It was here this entire time, and I didn't notice? See, that's the problem. I thought it was in a different category, but it's right there. Anyway, that is the, thing. Okay. There we go. Now, this, everybody, is Mayhem Taurus. Wait a minute. No, we're not done. No. Because I want this to be rounded, and can't really do that whenever the thing is, you know, not rounded. here's what I should have done. So what I should have done is not put those on there, and instead did this. I should have done this. There we go. Okay. Alright, there we go. This, everybody, is me still being an idiot. Yeah. Okay, fine. Fine. This won't do. Because I realized something. You know what I realized? What I realized is that I have a different idea in mind. So, I wished I would have thought of this sooner, but now that I have, I think you're really going to like what I'm going to do. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of those 2x2 with one stud in the center right here, and then right here. Oops, wait. I don't know why I did that. But then, what we're gonna do, my friends, is not do that. Actually, let me grab one of these and put it on the other side. The reason being is because of something that I, like I said, just thought of. There we go. There it is, yeah. There it is. Alright. There it is, everybody. This right here is Yes, there it is. Now, I should say what I do with these after I'm done with all of them is I render them, but I won't do that on stream. I'll do that after I'm done because of the fact that I won't be busy by then. But just know that we only have one left. We only have one striker left, and I think you're really going to like it. Because this one is a fusion type. So, in Hyper Strikerz, there's, of course, 4 different types of strikers. There's the Assault type, which is the attack type. There's Endurance, which is stamina. There's Guard type, which is defense. And then there's Fusion type, which, hence the name, fuses multiple different aspects of them. Anyway, so this striker, I forgot to check the thing because I again am an idiot. Right. So the official name for this last striker is called Shift Magnus. Now Magnus itself is, I believe, derived from mythology of some sort, like Greek.
Sorry for the silence, by the way. I'm just really, really laser focused on this stuff. Alright. So, um, I said earlier that traditionally Beyblade burst tops, which Hyper Strikerz are based entirely on Beyblades. Although the name Striker is inspired by Battle Strikers, which, if you may remember that, yeah, yeah. You deserve a veteran's discount. Anyway, alright. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
I'm back. Okay, what I was trying to say is, as I said earlier, for the most part, these four strikers are sticking to the same color schemes as the original Beyblade Burst starter striker Beyblades, except for one. This right here is Shift Magnus. And, you might be inclined to believe that, oh, well, wait, what color scheme is it going to have? It's going to go with a predominantly transparent black color scheme, except for the weight ring and the, I don't know. But you'll like it, and you might be inclined to believe, well, wait a minute, if it's predominantly a black color scheme, doesn't that mean that the person who owns it is evil or something? Actually, no, it's not. Sorry about that. But here's how this striker is going to look. How it's going to look is, as I stated before, the color scheme is going to be predominantly a transparent black color scheme. To be more specific, it's actually going to be the satin trans black. The reason being is because of the fact that it actually has a darker color scheme than the base transparent black. And so I thought, you know what, that's a better deal. So there we go. But then we have this part right here. That is actually not going to be that same color. It is going to be boom. Okay. Sorry about that. I was talking to a friend. Okay, so here's how this striker is going to look. So first, I'm going to get. Oh, not that. Actually, yeah. Yes, yes, there it is. Hey, that's nice. I love that color scheme. But yeah, so the owner of this striker, which I should say I don't animate stuff, it's just think of it sort of like it's already going to happen in the Radical Earth universe, so it's not going to happen here, just in the Radical Earth universe. But the owner of this striker isn't evil at all. It's just that he's intentionally made to be mysterious, and he's meant to make the people seeing the character think, are they evil or something? But whenever you quickly find out what their intentions are, you're just like, oh, okay. But, anyway, so. I'm gonna go ahead and. Okay, so. Shift Magnus is the very first and earliest striker to have such a feat. There are two different spin chips. Not spin chips, Avi chips. There's the left rotation and then the right rotation. This right here is the left rotation chip that I'm putting down. And yeah, so how this works is quite simple. Basically, Shift Magnus itself has two different modes. There's L mode and then R mode. Oops, why did I do that? Don't you just hate when that happens? Alright. Anyway. So, by L mode and R mode, this is what I mean. So we have left chip, right chip. And of course we also have the square. And now for the regular trans black. You know, I'm not trying to make a subtle reference to transgender stuff. It's just it's shortened to trans, which, you know, transparent. So again, not a jab at anything at all. If it sounds like it, then I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make it sound like it. Anyway, so then we have this. Yeah, so it's gonna have metallic red for parts of it, and it's also gonna have metallic blue. And the reason why is because of the fact that it has two different aspects of it that make it good at everything it does. There's the assault power, and then there's the defensive power. Wait, no, not defensive, it's endurance. And that's partially because of the fact that it has the Duos. Trying to think. The Duos power. No, not the spin base. Yeah, so. Trying to find. Where is purple? Right, there it is. Gotten plenty of friend requests, but never seen that before. I was looking at Facebook and I saw a notification that someone sent me a friend request. So, here's the thing. This is a common thing across Facebook, but have you ever gotten a friend request from what is obviously a porn bot? So, get this. For the first time ever, I got a friend request from a porn bot that is. And I'm not meaning to be homophobic when I say this at all, because I have plenty of gay friends and I myself am bisexual. It was a porn bot that was pretending to be a gay guy. They were advertising, oh, I want to be in a serious, gay relationship. Okay, why? I'm getting all kinds of distracted. Oh boy. Alright, yeah. So, anyway. Alright, oh, right. I'm just gonna move this stuff. There we go. I also need to do something else. I forgot to do this. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, because, see, the reason why I was about to put this there before I realized, oh wait, no, that wouldn't work, is because those little long pieces are meant for, like, right spin and left spin. But obviously that wouldn't really work if, you know, it's not either spin, it's both. Whoops. Alright. I've gotta stop getting so distracted. Anyway, oh, right, I still need to get the, other thing. Alright. It's a good day, saving our way, and we'll do our best to make you glad that you're... There I go, singing the same almost said thong. No, song that I was kind of alluding to. So there's this jingle that they did for the 1984 Olympics. I know this isn't a 1984 joke, shut up. But the whole thing about it is, like, whenever I first started getting into Kmart, it was partially, like, okay, so, I I'm just gonna admit something right out of the gate, alright? I had been to some Kmarts before, back whenever I was a baby. I do not remember any of that, mainly because of how long ago it was. For reference, the last time I ever went was when I was 2 years old, and the first time I went was when I was a baby. So, you know, yeah. But I will say this. Ever since I started learning about Kmart and, you know, what happened to it and all that other stuff, it made me realize that it truly was a special place, you know? And I'm not just saying that because I like going to the VR Chat Kmart Worlds. I really do realize just how special it was to a lot of people, partially because of memories that they had there, whether they be fond or not fond, or, you know, something like that. But the stories I predominantly hear are people, you know, saying how much they miss it and how they had good memories over there. And I get that that's true for a lot of stores. But, you know, in this case, it's just something about it, you know? It's hard to explain. But whenever I first went to VRChat Kmart, it was actually through the Express World, and it was before the Big World was open to the public through a open house, and it was pretty cool, you know? It was honestly like one of the coolest things ever, just seeing something that at the time I knew very little about. But then, whenever I saw the open house was open for Express, it piqued my interest because I went to the VRChat Kmart Express. This was all pre-remodel of that world, so if you go to Kmart Express now, it's going to look way different from what I'm talking about. But, it was really cool. But, yeah, so... There it is. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, yeah, whenever I first went there, it was pretty interesting, you know, just seeing what they had and all that other stuff. And it's something that sticks with you, you know. But the thing that really stuck out to me was when I first visited that VRChat Kmart Supercenter. It gave me a feeling of nostalgia for something that quite literally I didn't even remember doing IRL, even though I actually, again, have gone to a Kmart in real life as a little baby. But it's that same feeling that left me coming back for more. And I even met the owner at one point, and it was kind of following these rumors that I first heard from someone, which later turned out to be completely false. I won't get into what those rumors are because I literally cannot say that on YouTube because it is against rules, but I'll just say that they were accused of something that they never actually did, and some people still occasionally talk about it, but obviously that is not true. I happen to be friends with that same person, not IRL, but in VR chat and on Discord, and I can tell you straight up, those rumors are completely falsified. But, yeah. But my point being, going to that world gave me a nostalgia for something that I didn't realize that I actually have gone to, but didn't have any actual memories of it. But so here's what I'm trying to get at. Have you ever had false memories for something that you swear by it that you did, but you have no recollection of it, even though you might have possibly actually done it? If so, then that's exactly what I felt. And that's part of the reason why I think that VR Chat Kmart is so special and so unique. And while there's plenty of other VR chat worlds that I've seen that are creative in their own ways, it's VR Chat Kmart that stands above the rest in being incredibly unique in its own merits, to the point where it's literally an experience that you might think at first, well, it's just another VR chat world, right? Not exactly. It's something more than that, because for one, Eric, otherwise known as Ericerno, the same person I was talking about, he happens to have actually worked at a Kmart. And so, because of that, he was able to create VR Chat Kmart in a way that felt organic. You know? Like, it felt believable, even despite some of the small discrepancies, like if you were to go to the VR Chat Kmart Supercenter, or even if you visited the VR Chat Kmart Express prior to its remodel to the gas station that it is now, you might have noticed that you know, it do this. You might have noticed that it has a few modern day things that you wouldn't see in real life. For example, in the toy section, there are Nerf blasters that are from the Elite series, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when you consider the fact that Elite didn't come out until technically 2012. I think it was late 2012. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's meant to be there just for the lulz, you know. But that's what I like about it. It's not afraid to, you know, think outside the box. And the funny thing is, I haven't actually worked there as a associate. So anyway, so one sec. Alright. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is if you're ever in VR chat and you want to check that world out, please, by all means, just please don't be annoying, because take it from me as a new associate there, as I've been working there for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks now, because I started working there beginning of March or something, or a little after the beginning of March. Please be on your best behavior. It's okay if you're just joking around, but if you're bullying other people or even bullying other associates or speaking ill about people in a way that, you know, is, just something that's not very friendly, we will have to kick you out, but as long as you're on good behavior, then that's fine. But yeah, so, anyway, yeah, so now that we're done with the impact blade and the two different chips, how about we move on to the weight ring, which will have a few unique details about it, in that, for one, it is actually gold. Yeah, no joke, it's gold. Anyway. Yeah. So another thing about it is the shape of it. It is designed similarly to Aero Pegasus in that it has two sides that are kind of blade-like, and two sides that are kind of rounded. And the bladed sides are actually made out of rubber, and the reason being is because this weight ring is actually called counter, and how it works is it has two counterattack blades that, when utilized, will actually deflect attacks. But then we have the rounded sides, which are meant to protect against uppercut attacks. Anyway, so, yeah. So let's get to that, shall we? Oh, right. almost done with all this. That's good. Again, I'm thankful for it because of the fact that this has been dragging on for a while, but thankfully it's almost over. You can rest easy after this, folks. But for now, just sit tight and I will finish this soon. That was my phone. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So now, now for the rubber blades, that'll be oops. Alright, there we go. Alright. Right. So I might have made a slight miscalculation. There we go. This calculation has been unmiscalculated. Alright, now to get to the big thing. Who's ready to see Duos? I know I am. So Duos itself is a 2-in-1 spin base that has the ability to seamlessly allow the striker to go between attack movements and, you know, standing his ground in endurance mode. And you could do this during battle. You don't have to worry about switching modes during, like, you know, in between battles, because it does this all on the fly, and it's not some kind of weird mechanism inside the actual spin base. It's solely dependent on the angling of the striker itself. So, if you think about Beyblades like Ray Striker or, you know, some of the Spryzen Bays, I'm calling them by their American names, by the way, so don't yell at me in the comments saying, oh, actually, the name is this and this. Shut up. Shut up. Right? You ain't my dad. You never will be my dad. My dad's busy with life. Okay? Anyway, yeah, so... Anyway, the actual design of this, in terms of its outer part, is sort of similar to Sharp, except for one thing. It's, well, you'll see. There it is. That is one part of it. Now for the other part, we're going to be taking a look at this. No, that's not gonna work. I do have another idea though. No. 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 Okay. So this striker has two different chips. What about two different tips? I know that's kind of a dumb rhyme, but whatever. Oops. Yeah. So how it's gonna work is Duos has two different tip types. There's attack mode, which is this, which is a plastic flat tip, and then there's endurance mode, which is the sharp tip, which has metal. Wait, no. They should both be metal. Yeah. Just to make it more fair. Yeah. There we go. Alright, that should be it. That is everything. And I mean everything. So I already showed off Exceed Orion Aero Pegasus, Mayhem Taurus, and Shift Magnus. I think with that, I think it's time to call the stream here. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you didn't like, comment, subscribe, you don't have to do any of those things, but it's certainly appreciated if you'd like to. With that being said, though, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys later. See you later. Did I really just say that twice?